about exchange rates and how other countries are propping up the dollar. I came on this page here and I want us to take a look at how the dollar has um, lost its value over time, but how the exchange rate in African countries are not keeping up with that at all. Like, I feel like if the dollar is like losing value, then it should exchange for less. It should be worth less in terms of how it exchanges. If we look here, it says $1 in 1800 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $24 today. That's an increase of $23.37 over 223 years. The dollar had an average inflation rate of 1.4 per year between 1800 and today, producing a cumulative price increase of 2,336 or so percent. You can look at this and you could basically look on this graph here and you can see how the dollar has lost its value or lost its purchasing power. But then when you come to look at like exchange rate, I was looking at some exchange rate. For example, the Nigerian exchange rate. Let's look at for the past forever. You can see that the exchange rate is instead like going the opposite way that it's supposed to actually go. If a currency is losing value, I don't think the Nigerian currency is losing value that much. I don't believe that the Nigerian currency is printing anywhere near as much as the American dollar. I feel like whenever the US dollar or whenever America is going through an inflation, that's the time when the exchange rate jumps up the most. 2008, let's look for 2008. Around 2008, that's a time when it left from around $100 or $124 to 150 something. And all the time whenever the US like has I don't know, like whenever there's trouble in the US, that's when the exchange rate for these other countries suddenly doubles or increases by a significant amount. Whenever there's trouble over here, that's when the exchange rate jumps up so much because they are basically stealing from these other poorer countries to prop their own economy. So it's important for these countries to like wake up and look at the math and demand for better exchange rates, because I don't know if you guys have that much influence over your exchange rate, because this doesn't make sense for the exchange rate to suddenly damn near double from, this is ridiculous, from 460 to almost 800. It basically like doubled. So if you guys don't like question this, or like, because it never works in the favor of these poorer countries, the exchange rate just keeps doubling. Like, what the heck? It's just like absolutely, it's just an absolute travesty. And what is really sad about what's going on is like African countries, they always ask like, they always think that the problem is coming from the leaders of their country, but it really isn't. The problem is coming from outside, or at least a significant amount of the problem is coming from outside, and the leaders whom they put as a puppet. They definitely find someone who's not smart, or somebody that's easy to find fault with. It's so easy to find fault with one man, but it takes like a whole country for a country to really fall. But if you can put one man there that looks like an an idiot or somebody that looks like they're really dumb, then it's easy to point a finger at that person and say, that's why that person is dumb. That person doesn't know what he's doing. We need to kick them out. But sometimes you need to look at the whole picture, take a step back, and really look at how does the exchange rate come about. Like I've been researching exchange rate. There is no formula online that tells me how they come up with exchange rates. There is no clear understanding of how they come up with the exchange rates. These numbers are manipulated, and they basically just put this thing out here and people go with it. Like, how much influence do African countries have over the exchange rate is what I'm trying to find out. Like, are you guys able, is it something where you like lobby for it, or like how do you like influence it is what I'm really trying. I want for there to be more conversations about exchange rates so we can all understand how they come up with the exchange rate, because I it doesn't make sense to me at all.